I'm Matthew, and this is my God story. So my God story includes a lifelong chase for authenticity. And it started really as a kid. I grew up in South Charlotte where there's a lot of affluence, a lot of nice neighborhoods, people wear nice clothes and wash their cars every week. My parents provided me a great opportunity in that had a good home and went to a Christian school that was nice and had great neighbors. Everything on the outside looked perfect, but on the inside it was not so perfect. My parents moved particularly to this house so we could be close to church. My parents got saved when I was a young kid, left their life of partying behind, got plugged into a church, and they were all in. Every time the doors were open, Sunday night, Sunday mornings, Wednesday night, that was really where I spent the majority of my time growing up. On the outside, again, everything looked pretty pristine, but on the inside, I was a mess as a kid. Had several things happen to me that through no fault of my own. I was abused in the church, sadly. Had to work through that and then wrestled with some mental illness. Ended up running away by the time I was 14 and was gone for 3 days. Ended up attempting suicide numerous times before the age of 18. And even though things looked great on the outside, on the inside, I was just torn up as a kid. And so I chased authenticity. I so wanted for things on the outside to match things on the inside. So that was really the beginning of my story and got me through college. Even though I was in and around church most of my life, I didn't know Jesus personally. I knew tons about him. I could quote whole books of the Bible and could even relate on theological points, but I didn't know him as a person and I had no idea what he did for me personally. That didn't happen until I was a junior in college. I remember attending at the Charlotte Civic Center here, the conference. It was all week and on Thursday night. And the gentleman who was doing the conference gave an invitation and just said, do you want to trust your life to God? And I remember sitting there being so miserable, having all this craziness happen internally, but living this, what appeared to be a perfect, successful life on the outside. I was real involved in college, I was in a fraternity, I was a leader and all these different things, but just empty on the inside. And so I remember sitting there and having not an audible conversation with God, but very clear in my mind, a conversation. And I remember God asking me, "Are you done living for yourself?" And I just thought, yeah, this hasn't worked out so well. And I thought, well, what do I have to lose? And so I remember just falling away in an abandonment and saying, I don't even know what this means, but I want it. Whatever it is, I want all of it, and I want all of you, and I don't even know what that means. So during my junior and senior years, started to follow God wholeheartedly, and things began to change. I got a love and a passion for Scripture. I got a heart to serve and love on other people, and I began to realize just how unauthentic as a person I was. And so, ironically, that exploration of not being real was what caused me to become more real. And so that was really the beginning of that. So I found myself having raised my 4 girls in South Charlotte again, and my family situation changing dramatically. I had no idea it was going to end up like that, and moved to the lake, which had always been a dream and a dream I'd hoped to do with my family. Instead, God had me come individually, and found myself living on the lake, and I thought, I need to find a church who is more authentic. And so I began coming and basically just standing in the back. It was dark, in the school gym where we met, and I literally would just weep for an hour through worship, through the sermon. I remember one of the pastors standing up and saying, look, we would love to have you come to Lake Forest at Westlake and be a part of our family here. And if you have it all together, that's fine, but don't tell us because the rest of us don't have it figured out yet. So please just keep that to yourself. But I just love it. We're a collection of messed up people who are seeking the grace of God. I think the thing that excites me the most about Lake Forest Westlake is that I want to find other people who are tired of hiding and they want to come out and just be who they are. You know what? This is what I struggle with, and this is ugly, and I know God hates it, and I'm struggling with this. And so I could use help here. And so could you pray for me? Could you walk with me? Could you just be understanding? Could you just listen as I fumble through this? And that's what stirs my heart, and that's what excites me about Westlake. And that's why I like being a part of it, and that's what I'm looking forward to serving and helping other people discover that in their own God story. I'm Matthew, and that's some of my God story.